Hello, and welcome to my home port in Oriental, North Carolina. I'm Dr. Bryce Kaye, and I'm going to be speaking to you today about how to select a partner to make your safe passage to enduring love in a relationship. And just as if you are going to be going on a long voyage, you want to select a partner who has a lot of integrity. If you were going to select a boat, you would want a boat with very few no soft spots on the hull, with a good righting moment, so that if it got a knockdown wave, it would be able to right up without capsizing. And so, if you want a good relationship, you need a partner who also has integrity for the rough voyage ahead, and there will be rough spots. Now, to illustrate some principles, I'm going to tell a little story that occurred several years ago with my daughter. She had come to me after breaking up with a second boyfriend in as many years, and with a very sad look, she looked in my eyes and said, "Dad, will you teach me to not trust?" And that saddened me a bit, but I thought maybe I could turn it to some good use and teach her some caution. And so I wrote up 5 guidelines, and I took her out to a little Italian restaurant. At the end of our meal, I gave her these 5 guidelines. And since that time, I've had a number of clients tell me of how useful these guidelines have been to them. So I'm going to share them with you today. So the first guideline I'd like to share is to quickly leave a relationship, that is a new relationship. If it's a new relationship, quickly leave a relationship if there are any lies of convenience. Meaning, the person is lying merely to avoid your disapproval. They are lying perhaps to impress you. And these lies of convenience really are a very bad sign for the future, because that person is very likely to betray you down the line. In a relationship, a person tells the truth not because they love their partner. They tell the truth because they love truth, because they love their own integrity, and they are struggling to be an honest person for themselves. And that's what you want in selecting a partner. You want a partner who tells the truth because that's the way they want to be. Don't make the classic mistake of assuming that love will miraculously fix everything. It doesn't work that way. Now, the second guideline is that you want someone who can balance responsibility and fun, or pleasure and responsibility, both. If you select someone who only knows how to be responsible, maybe they'll have fun with you initially when they're trying to win you over. But if you see in their life that they don't have fun for themselves, eventually they're going to expect you to come under the same system of evaluation that they want to live by. And your relationship will eventually starve, because affection generally is not replenished very well in just sharing responsibility together. That's one reason why a lot of relationships go downhill when children come on the scene and partners choose only to share parenting responsibility with each other, and satisfaction typically declines. So you want someone who can strike a good balance and wants fun and responsibility both in the relationship. The third guideline is that you want someone who will not disrespect your right for privacy. That's a fundamental right, and you have a right to choose when you're ready for a conflict or when you're ready for a hard discussion, just like you have the right to choose when you want to have sex or not to have sex. I highly recommend, if you have someone who chases you down, who will not respect your retreating to a private room or behind a locked door, That's not a relationship that you want to stay in. The fourth guideline is that you want someone who pays the price for their own integrity. If you see them struggling through shame to tell you the truth, and they successfully do that, that's a good sign. If you see someone who makes amends, even when it's unnecessary because they want their own consistency, that's a good sign. So when someone's not trying to impress, but you see them in private struggling to get right with themselves, then you know someone is likely to be consistent with you, because people choose integrity for themselves, not really to impress their spouse. Finally, I recommend you don't get married unless you've had 3 good conflicts. I'd say 3 good fights, but you don't want somebody who is a bully during fights, who eviscerates you during fights. You want someone who is fairly respectful even when they are resenting you. It's when your partner is tested that you'll see how much integrity he or her has. If you think you know your partner just because times are good, it's kind of like saying you're going to know your vessel just because you've taken it out on a sunny day and it seems to float okay when everything is fine. You want to see your partner tested a little bit. And it's during those times of conflict when you really get to see the shadow side. This is a very big mistake that people make. They assume that strong passion really is a guarantee that things are going to go well. It's not the case. You want to see someone who is steady even when the water is rough. Even when there are turbulent times between you, you want to see how they steady themselves, how they right themselves up. Here are the 5 guidelines once again. Number 1, quickly leave a new relationship if the person tells even a few lies of convenience. Number 2, choose someone who can balance both pleasure and responsibility. 3, choose a partner who is willing to pay an emotional price for his or her integrity. Is he or she willing to endure some discomfort? Number 4, leave a new relationship if the person doesn't respect your right to privacy. Number 5, don't get married unless you and your partner have had 3 good fights. Now, these guidelines are on my website at marriagefirstaid.com. They're also at the back of my book, The Marriage First Aid Kit. So those are my 5 recommendations, and I hope that you can take them seriously. And nevertheless, I wish you a safe and happy voyage together. Take care, and goodbye.